Google Keep is a great program if you're working with your students on their executive functioning skills or just overall organization and responsibility skills. All students and teachers have access to it. And to do so, we're going to jump over to their Google Apps, the 9-dot waffle here, and just scroll down a touch until we find Google Keep. So some teachers and students use it as like a simple checklist, a to-do list, etc. They're almost like little post-it notes that you can share and collaborate with other teachers and students. So you'll see a collection of Google Keep notes that I have created or have shared with me. On the left-hand side are labels, or is what they're called, and they're organized by name for me anyway. And we can talk a little bit about a little bit later. So to create one, we're going to go right up here to the top where it says take a note. For this one, in this example, we are going to create success criteria for writing. So I'm actually going to create it as a list. So that way they'll add the checkboxes for me automatically. And I'm going to include my title. So I'm going to do my success criteria for writing. So as I mentioned, both students and teachers can create this, and we'll talk about how we can share this with other people shortly. So my first item for my success criteria for writing, I can write with proper punctuation. And you're going to notice on the side here, I have like a grammar tool checking for my spelling and grammar and such as we go, which is very helpful as well. I can include capitals at the beginning of my sentence, include details to my writing. I can include at least 4 juicy words. And we'll do one more. I can review my work with read and write, just to kind of help students, remind them that they can do that as well. Okay, so here is my success criteria for writing, all ready to go. I can also sort them out by color if I choose to, add images. I can add those little bits in here to kind of help with the organization side of it as well. So one thing I mentioned is that I want to possibly share this with a student. Maybe I created this for my particular student or a couple of students and I want to share it with them. I'm going to do that, I'm going to add my collaborator. And here is where I can actually add their name. And then when they jump to their Google Keep program, just like I did, they will see it on their list and have access to it as well. So they can just type their name in there. And another thing I've mentioned is adding labels. So maybe I want to include this with one of my students that I have on the side so I know and properly can organize these. So if I click on those 3 dots for more, I can add a label. It'll give me access to all of the labels I already have created. And then if I want to create a new one, I can do that as well. So for this example, I'm just going to click my name. So that way, when I jump into my label, I'm just going to close that. I will see all the labels that are associated with myself. So there's the one I just created, there's one I created before, and there's one that has a picture included into it as well. So what would be the purpose of using this? So this is for writing. So I'm actually going to jump to a Google Doc. And this is where it gets very, very useful for students, is that if you create it for them, or they create one on their own based on their own learning, they can actually access them directly in Google Docs. They can also have it directly accessed in Google Slides. Maybe they have like a series of different checkpoints that they want to do. So you're going to notice on the right-hand side, we have like this set of add-ons that we can include, and one of them is Google Keep. So if I click on Keep, I can actually see that entire success criteria right here. Just click on that and I can see the entire list. Once I start doing my writing, I can actually check them off as I go. Or maybe even better for some students, instead of having it on the right-hand side, we can click on the menu and we can actually add it to the document, like so. And then it's actually scratched off the 2 that I already have checked off, and the students can do that as well as they're doing their writing. So that is Google Keep and using it for your writing and success criteria sharing.